Saturday. We have 3 more spots up for grab. What is going to be decided in this mirrored matchup right here? Mikowski, how you doing? Did you get some water? Your boy's going to hold out for the rest of the series.
Oh, we are fully hydrated and fully turned up, ready to watch this series as we have a close one. Average placing for this Mantra roster, formerly of Meta, 11th. Mickey, formerly Mickey, now Darkest Hour, 13th. So these two teams are close in seeding. Their average placing is close throughout the year. So we should be in store for a good one here as we hop on board with Mortally.
I love that we just, like, seeding is kind of carrying through, right? We just saw the 2 versus the 3, and now we're on the other side. It's the 1 versus the 4. So no, like, huge upsets just yet, but there's the potential for one here if Darkest Hour can come away with this win. But
yeah,
Mortally with the rockets in hand, 1 rocket, 1 kill. The hill streets can be so dicey if what stays true from the last semifinals. The second rocket is going to do some damage to M305, but not enough as Mortally is taken down.
And I believe the team change here is Ace.
Yes.
Got the double kill, the well-timed double kill there in the feed. I believe taking the spot of Swish. So this is an interesting roster here. And God, with the likes of the Halo 4 World Champion on the squad, you have to imagine that this team gets a little bit of a boost in the #1 seed here in the open bracket. Septify looking to maintain that with the hands on Shiesty. Takes him down, but trades out. Numbers advantage here for Darkest Hour at a moment in time where this hill's really, really close.
Very dicey on this hill #1, and Tricky cleans up a kill, trying to duck and stay alive. But look at that angle from Septify. He was at the top of C, he was on the balcony. Once the kill comes through, he quickly rotates over, tossing that shroud screen yet again to provide some coverage for a teammate as he takes the fight in Arcade, ends up as the trade. But it's Mantra, just about 10 seconds left to hold on to secure this first objective. The last push coming through from Darkest Hour, and Yaxon takes down a double kill, clear across the map with the spike grenade. The breakthrough is in for Darkest Hour.
Breakthrough in for Darkest Hour at just the right time. Looked like Mantra was just a few seconds away from securing that hill. Now, both teams virtually tied in the score sheet, in the kill sheet, everywhere across the board. A crucial piv going down bottom mid, but Super CC wins that. It's super crucial not only because of the time in this series, or time in this match with Hill, the hill about to be scored for both teams, but the rockets going into the hands of Super CC. And look at this, he rotates already. He preemptively rotates to C, and because of it, this squad is going to continue scoring. Wow.
How's he gonna remote detonation on that kill? I thought the rocket was gonna be the double kill, but he actually shoots out the grenade credited with that takedown. Super CC with the super crucial kills. I have to say it twice because that's what the CC stands for. The crucial kills coming out from Super CC. Now the red gun is in his hands. One of my favorite players. I would count as one of the top, most underestimated players in this league, and showing you why. Jumping through that shroud screen, not finding the kill he was looking for, doubles back to driveway regenning, but this hill is already past the halfway mark. 3/4 of the way captured by Mantra.
Yeah, Super CC is kind of interesting because he's a player that I believe personally has gotten better from season to season, but he's not. His teams aren't finishing as high as they were last year. Super CC finding himself consistently in that 8 through 16 range. Now just on the outside looking in here with the 17th seed overall, #1 here in this tournament. And I don't know, maybe for teams that were looking to kind of find their form, it benefits them playing in a qualifier where they get much more practice. And at the end of the day, the thing separating the top teams from the lesser teams is a lot of times just practice. As we see, was that another grenade shot out of the sky? Hail Mary, no less, from Septify. And Mantra looking to build on this 1-0 lead, looking to go up 2-0 now.
13th seed overall, right? Because it's only the top 12.
Excuse me. Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so they're still within that range of top 16, but everything else you said, I absolutely agree with. I just want to make sure that I was doing the numbers correctly. 3 go down for Darkest Hour. Mantra get the final seconds on that hill. And would you look at this? Once again, Super CC is already extending to the next spawning in hill. And this time with rockets in hand, finds one takedown, looking for the second. But he didn't even switch to the rocket. He had the information from teammates that this was going to be a soft kill to clean up with the BR, holding on to one more rocket.
Yeah, and how many times do we see a rocket go into the feet of someone who's one shot, right? It's just not a perfect utilization of the rockets in those cases. And with only two to maximize, 2 at best, You got to take advantage of every rocket shot you get, as we see exactly that from Super CC. Putting together a really strong game one here. 2 convincing hills to start, and they're looking to put a third on the board as well.
Really smart plays here from Super CC, sitting at 12-5, the overall slaying leader, and you just see the smart plays, the crucial decisions working out. But it's right now Super CC versus Grand Shiesty, and that's a Sentinel beam in play. He is taken down. Ace now hops up to heaven, trying to rotate around, maybe clean up this kill onto M305, but M305 has those defensive plasma grenades, now re-engaging. A great counter from M305, but do Darkest Hour get any hill time? They still have not touched this objective.
Oh, Super CC with another miraculous cross-map grenade. Every time 99 switches to his POV, he's got a Hail Mary grenade landing in the feed, and it's going to take a prayer now for Darkest Hour. Almost at a 3-0 mark, and it's not even so much that it's a close game still. It's 2-0, right? 3:13 left on the clock, so there's plenty of time. But it was, like you mentioned earlier, Magic, it was the fact that Darkest Hour hadn't even really stepped into a hill just yet. We haven't really seen them even contest or hold on to a hill for continuous time. So despite the fact that it's still close, despite the fact that there's still plenty of time, this one feels like a big lead for Mantra.
Speaking of Mantra, as 4 go down for Darkest Hour, it looks like they're going to put the finishing touches on this hill. I want to hop to a quick listen in. This is where we get some team comms on the broadcast to hear what Mantra sound like, hopefully wrapping up a strong game 1 win.
See, that's why I want shot. Where'd she go? Where'd she go?
He's dead.
I'll heal that.
One shot. Nice.
We
should wrap, Lucky. You guys should wrap.
Okay.
I have rockets at purple.
One shot plants.
I can kill. I can help you find nice.
Okay, another one. No, we're good.
I died from front agent.
Baiting hill.
Two them.
Go.
And top A. I got one. Last guy, put it.
PD.
Fresh one.
We're good.
Oh, okay. We kill him.
Should I push that B?
I'm trying.
Purple weak, yeah. First spawner.
I'm pushing B real, okay?
I'm trying.
Yeah, there's a kid ATM.
Two front C.
I'm baiting the shroud.
2 in C, 2 in C.
I got your front.
Yeah, in the shroud dead.
2 B stairs.
One shot like.
Need biceps. Last guy.
Plant tires.
He's on planet. Nice.
Hollow's weak. Might have squad spawned like towards red.
Red room or...
Yeah.
Hey, I believe Shotty's up.
Yeah, they're B. Yeah,
I'm at heaven. 3.
I'm looking caution. Yeah, I'm looking.
One shot PD.
One shot caution, one shot target. Nice. NPD, Aaron, one shot.
It is one shot.
Looking side door.
Watch ATM.
Back A. One shot back A. Nice, good game.
Nice,
Clean.
A nice, clean victory. It comes across the screen. The 4-0, not as dicey, not as dramatic as the other side of the semifinals. But I tell you what, on the side of Mantra, they will take that. They looked unshaken and they sounded very precise, very confident in their comms. Anything that you picked up from that quick listen in?
Matter of fact, that was the tone. That was the feeling that I got from that Mantra squad. It was almost like each sequence was a foregone conclusion that they were going to come out on top. So when I listened into that Mantra squad, I heard plenty of confidence and a calmness, a soothness in the Discord, in the comms that you might expect a little bit earlier, right? Maybe a win around 1 or 2. They sound just as calm, cool, and collected playing against some of the lesser-known teams here against the likes of Darkest Hour, which has been in pool play before. They made it last week, in fact. So this is an impressive showing here from this Mantra squad. As matter of fact, that was the tone, that was the vibe I got from that listen in. And let's not lie, the visuals that we saw in game 1 as well. 4-0 sweep for Mantra, looking strong in that King of the Hill.
Yeah, there wasn't really a reason for them to get panicked, right? There wasn't a reason for them to start to scramble. So maybe the story is different if it's, a 2-2 on the hills right there towards the end of the game. But with the 4-0 victory, they sounded cool, they sounded confident, and they're hoping that carries them through the rest of the series. I have to shout out Super CC yet again, who is a very calm, cool, collected slayer and did a lot of incredible slays throughout this game 1.
There we saw another one of those unbelievable grenade kills there from Super CC. The CC does not stand for close combat, Magic, because those were some long-range Hail Marys we saw land. But look at it, just like whether the hill was on the B side of the map or here on the cafe side of the map, there was just always that strong anchor. Popeye the Sailor strong. from the likes of Mantra as they look to continue that display of strength here in Game 2. Team Slayer on recharge. 3-1 start, though, for Darkest Tower. Putting together that bounce back we were hoping for.
I wouldn't at all be surprised to find out that Ace had a can of spinach for breakfast this morning. Honestly, maybe that Popeye strength is something to check out, because Mantra had a strong, decisive win in game number 1. Game number 2, though, the slight early lead from Darkest Hour. They're up 5-3 as Tricky laser shots across the board. All 4 go down for Mantra. Tricky, still yet to be taken down, as you saw him holding that top of A. Across the map, though, Grand Shiesty has the shock rifle. A little bit of that crossfire already being set up by Darkest Hour.
Grand Shiesty looking to use that shock rifle to build on the lead, but you know what? Those are too many misses down to that top blue area. And Ace picked up on the pacing and timing of it. The focus, almost like horse blinders on towards that blue side of the map. Ace flanks up on the elbows, takes the kill, takes the shock as a result, and takes the lead as well. 7-6 now, tied all, 7-7.
A little bit of a trap here from Darkest Hour, but they're working their way out of the trap until Ace lines up the perfect with the shock rifle. Peeking at that doorway, finds the headshot. There's 2 players in front. 1 player's taken down, 2 for 2, and he stays alive. Scrambling away, ducking behind that crate for cover, allows teammates to roll through and clean up the kills. And off those kills, Ace finds another perfect shot, knowing that preserving his life was not just denying 1 point from the other team, but it's holding on to the remaining ammo in that power weapon.
Yeah, at this point, Ace is just the king of the castle here at the top glass. He's not going to leave it until someone puts the pressure on him, or he has the need to push up to camo, as we see just that. Great job here by Ace. Leaves the high ground. Usually not a great call, but I think here in this instance, smart play with camo coming up, but Yak takes advantage and takes Ace down. That's been a crucial point on the map for this Mantra squad, as the 360 goes down for Mortally. 18-11 now. So that was all on Ace in that flank that he hit earlier on the long haul side of the map. 1 up to gold. Trickle down from that is a 7-kill lead now for Mantra, when it looked like Magic Darkest Hour was doing great at the start.
Yeah, Darkest Hour had that initial lead, but it was quickly answered by Mantra. You see some of that teamwork coming through, but now M305 just winning straight out the 1v1 battle, shuts down the rest of that camo. M305 has the grapple, rotating across the map, tossing grenades down front, but I think there's a player bottom elevator that M305 might not know is there. It looks like it's Ace, and now Mortally has the distraction. Ace should be able to rotate through to clean up the rest of that kill, but the melee doesn't connect. The grapple play recontesting. M305 is staying alive, gets another kill.
Yeah, and despite what looked like a good stretch there for Darkest Hour, they're still down by 8, now 7. Back to 8. So this is one of those, this is a scary situation for Darkest Hour, going up against the likes of 4 players on Mantra who all have professional experience, pool play experience. They're in a situation now where they know that the trade out is going to be the best way to win, and players this talented with this much experience, they don't give up those kills for free. So not only are they going to trade out here, but they're going to probably still continue to take down these kills cleanly, as we see just that. Ace returns to the top of glass with that shock rifle as well. This is a tough uphill battle now for Darkest Hour.
Definitely the uphill battle in front of Darkest Hour. If they are going to mount the comeback now, they cut that lead to 10. Big fan of the Mantra lineup. Mortally, 11 slays, only 5 deaths. Mortally was a player we became more familiar with through the Honda Fan Cup, the 1v1 series during the offseason. And now seeing Mortally out here competing and winning in that 1v1 against Grand Shiesty. A nice win. Make it 12 on the board. In a Slayer, 12 slays is already setting yourself up for success. We're only halfway through on this match. He is taken down, but from the grave, the grenade is going to hit its mark.
Looking to see if Yak can help bring his team back here, as he was second in the last 4K, averaging 1.8 kills per minute. Might need a 2.8 per minute if he's going to come back in this game, but he's a player to watch here on this Darkest Hour roster, an up-and-coming player with the stats to boot, but his team's going to need every bit of it here as they're down 10.
10-point lead. Tricky once again over on the A side, the elevator side. Super CC is escaping away with his life. This might not have been his pop-off game like we saw from game number 1, but it doesn't matter as long as your team is holding on to that 10-point lead. All 3 players from Darkest Hour focus fired onto him. They take down that break kill, but can Darkest Hour find any more slays to add on top of that to push the advantage? It doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Septify with that sniper in his hands. Oh, look at this. Darkest Hour with the 3 down. If they can stagger Septify here, they'll stagger spawns, timing, positioning, and they'll take back control of that shock rifle. But Septify, realizing that he has that power weapon in his hand, despite getting that body shot, isn't going to chase. Smart play here from Septify, as now he just looks to stay alive, but he goes down. 6-kill disparity between these two teams, and most importantly, M305 and Darkest Hour have the shock rifle. Caster's Curse, never mind, they don't.
I don't know who has it. I think it might be Ace rotating over to pick up the shock rifle. Actually, no one is there. It's tricky. It stays in the hands of Darkest Hour, at least for now.
Okay.
I don't think that counts as the caster's curse. You're free of that one, Mikowski. 6-point game. It was a 10-point lead. So you like to see that being cut in half. Can Darkest Hour turn it into a 1-possession game? The next round of slays are going to be oh so crucial to decide if it's a 1 or 2-possession game, and also the control of that active camo that has spawned in. Grand Shiesty doesn't immediately go for the camo, instead sets up that kill that Tricky cleans up. Tricky's gonna double back, regen the shield, and mortally doesn't round the corner in time to take him down. The fight for camo is in.
Tough sequence here for Darkest Hour, as it looks like they were sort of waiting for that opening snipe from Tricky and the shock rifle, but Tricky almost had to overextend into blue, almost died and traded out with the shock rifle, and it just didn't seem like the full collective push was there from the A side to the long haul side to pinch onto that blue side, as Mantra regained that 8-kill lead, and now on the brink of a game 2 win. Have Darkest Hour on the brink of elimination in the form of a sweep. Gotta expect more fight here from the likes of Darkest Hour as we continue on with this series.
And it's just 1 kill remaining. Is it going to be Mortally with the victory? It looks like the kill comes through. 50-41. Mantra really showing up, proving why they are the number 1 seed here today and fighting for that full play position.
Yeah, this is looking like a Mantra squad that's looking pissed off and angry. I don't know what it is. I don't know who.
Yes.
I don't know who flipped over their breakfast table and got all Apple Jacks and milk all over the floor, but Mantra looking mad. And you can't spell mad without Mantra, so it makes sense. Up 2-0 convincing here with a 4-0 win in game 1 and a 9-point spread in game 2. Do they ride that into a game 3 where things could really snowball? I mean, at this rate, Mantra could potentially put up 5 scores in Empyrean CTF Magic. That only happens 7% of the time in HCS, and I gotta ring the bell because I think that might happen here.
Ooh, you're looking for a 7% possibility play of 5 full captures for Mantra? Wouldn't that be a fast-paced, action-packed game if it does come through? I mean, this last game, very, high octane. You didn't have those. Sometimes on Recharge, you'll see those slowdowns mid-game where teams kind of divide the map until camo forces them out. But we didn't really see that here. We always saw one team trying to push the advantage, pushing on the offensive, and it really was an action-packed game. Yeah,
even Ace, when he had the high ground and he had the snipe tower, if you will, locked down over there on gold, he left it to continue to push out and play for more slays. So that kind of gives you a sneak peek into what the strategy might look like. This is not a Mantra roster that's going to rest on their laurels or play back or wait for the game to come to them. They're going to take the emphasis. They're going to push the envelope, and it's one reason why they're up big here, 2-0 in this series. But Darkest Hour still with a little bit of life, still with a chance here on Empyrean CTF.
It's fun to watch this Mantra roster. You mentioned how Ace has been added onto the squad, but if you remember back to last year, the Strong Survive team, that was Mortally, Super CC, Huss, and Ace. So it's really Ace coming back to his squad. So it's not, and I think you can tell in the way that they play, he doesn't look like the new player on the roster. These players are very familiar with the play styles, with their roles, and it's starting to work. I really enjoy watching this Mantra team.
Yeah, and I think regardless of who's a better player between some of the players that Mantra has had on this roster, it's not even about that. It's always about team composition. And when you look at Mortally, a young player, another one of those young guns right there with the likes of Collect or Carmea, maybe not as well known or prominent, but he's right there. And when you pair Mortally with the likes of Ace, a world champion, a veteran OG, probably one of the longest standing Halo pros, I just love that for Mortally, and I love this team composition because of it.
Great team composition. You can see the success so far as they lead in this series 2-0, and hopefully living up to Mikowski's prediction of the 5-0. I tell you what, if Mortally hits snipes like that, 1-2 go down, nearly getting the full team wipe with the use of that sniper rifle. Was Zen 305 back in the fight. The trade of kills comes through. And Mantra, they're not taking time to reset the flag because they want to go for that counter cap potential.
Yeah, Darkest Hour did a great job to get a pull out there, but they pulled with, I think, all 4 alive for Mantra. And you had, most importantly, I think it was Super CC or Septify with that sniper rifle. Puts that to good work and use. But 3 go down for Mantra, so despite this flag looking like it had a chance to go in, a good chance to go in, Mantra slip up a little bit at the end, and now it's Darkest Hour with the counter cap of their own. Wow.
Counter cap potential is coming in, and I know it's early in the game, but I want to hear what the comms sound like right here, right now for Mantra. We got to listen in at the end stages of game number 1. Let's hear what those comms sound like here in the early stages of the game.
Aaron, I'm coming.
They're gonna get it.
All right, just get through.
Get through, yeah.
So too far.
First.
Mauler.
Sliding flag.
He's moving flag, yeah. Give me 2 guys here then.
Go needles.
You know, bridge.
They're trying to get a push screen right now.
Tower 2.
Oh, yeah,
Tower 2.
They're gonna push me flag.
Go first.
Green.
He's here.
Nice kill.
One more week,
The
Jace.
green, come to you guys.
Both ones. I couldn't get him long enough.
Rockets.
Can we get Ovi maybe? They're not on it.
Rockstar green.
Nice.
Nice, one dead.
Yo, long again on it.
He's not long with them. He's on the drop field, needles.
He's one.
Yeah.
Nice, good job.
He's dead. Rockets are out.
Yep.
Yeah, our court now.
I feel like we should play more towards sword side.
To our court.
Our court, yeah.
15
Okay,
seconds.
we got Ovi there. One's going for a pull.
I got one.
And our top tower with Ovi.
Behind Obi, hold on.
They're trying
He's on me on the tower ramp,
they're green right now.
chasing me. I hit him twice. He's getting shit on. Oh my god.
One shot our green. Absolutely.
Oh my god.
Find a green.
I'm looking at their snipe. Try and get to their snipe.
One's the training pit. Going for the snipe. Oh my god, dude, the training pit in their second week. He's training's weak.
Try training.
You're training.
Training too.
More green. Fuck, dude.
He's like still
Green.
training pit.
Green take, one shot.
One's tower one.
Nice, still training.
Tower one right now. Aaron.
Wait, one shot behind you, get in.
It's
Oh,
sword.
Abby,
Yeah.
no court. S1.
S1. Yeah,
Bridge.
S1's weak sniping. S1 will try sniping.
No bridge.
See
One shot.
One shot. Nice.
Nice,
Dude, I fucking trolled. Alright, snipe's down on a bridge. Snipe's down on a
Okay,
bridge.
so S1 sniping. I hit him. He's gonna be one.
S1
Nice,
still.
good shot.
He's one shot back ramp. Two back ramp. I killed the one. Another one here.
Nice back ramp.
Back ramp again, weak.
Yo, you guys keep saying a background with flinging.
Use S2 somewhere. He had a snipe.
They knows I'm here. I'm dead.
Training? Weak?
Dude, I
Watch other training. Watch other training.
One shot back ramp.
Yeah.
I got one. We can get through sword for sure, or tower for sure.
Hold it.
Your kill's guy in the tower. It's one guy.
Pit right now.
Sport.
I can't see that guy. The guy training.
Oh, you, Aaron.
Our first.
So
Watch
top
out,
tower.
court. There's
Top tower and training, both one shots. One shot the training. He fell.
Too bad.
He's
down there.
Hey, let's do green. Training pit one shot. Nice. Other guy's green.
Nice. Let's go training.
Pretty fast.
Got him.
Spawning Mauler, watch out.
One bridge.
He went back to the flag already.
Okay, I'm going tower 2. He's probably already back ramp.
I'm gonna play good.
Neither.
No, he's-
You already got neither. Watch out.
Cuts weak, Jay.
One shot. They're like.
Mauler.
I'm pitching on. Yeah, Mauler weak. And first.
Green Mauler.
Okay,
Green Mauler.
both weak. First one shot. Flag one
Yeah.
shot. One shot.
Okay, I'm going.
Might be another Mauler. There's two first, both weak. 2 one shots first and another one shot
here?
first. Mauler.
Come here.
He's still Mauler.
He's gonna go front. Nice.
That's still
Aaron.
too dead.
I'll get it.
Yeah, the green weak.
Green. One shot green. Nice.
Hit.
Yeah, take your time. I'll fly it out.
Go on flag right now.
Oh, let's go.
Guy on green.
Yo, green.
I died.
Green weak. They're second.
All right, we gotta get these rockets.
One shot green to your left. Chase.
Out there long.
I'm dead. He's gonna rocket.
There, needles.
You get Ovi? They're green.
They're long. And come with you long. Drop off.
I got
Green weak.
Our long weak.
Ovi's free?
Mel Ovi. No.
Okay, yeah, just fight this guy.
He's under bridge.
Just fight me.
There, needles. The targets. I'm dead. Rocking me or 2 of them.
He got me.
Keep putting
Got him,
them.
Bailey. He's
Nice,
almost
one
out.
shot. Nice. Get through. Yeah, we gotta start playing their side more.
Shot on the bridge.
One shot mid. Yeah, our sword.
Just go forward, bro.
Here I go.
Yeah, let's kill on our side. This guy's gonna shoot us on the side. We can't stop this.
Shot at me. Shot at bridge.
Mauler.
Shot at Obi. Like, near Obi.
Shot our Mauler, dude. We gotta kill this guy on our side. He's still needle pit.
He's
Alright.
dead.
Whatever we do, we just gotta do the same
15
shit.
seconds on snipe.
It's fine.
Our training green.
Yep. Shot green. Nice.
Our fucking green.
Our snipe's coming up. Our sword window. Weak.
Same thing.
Sword window.
Good sword window.
Green.
Alright, just live. We need sniper.
Long one shot. Dead.
Yo, our sword, one shot.
Nice.
Dead.
Start.
One's banana. Last scene.
Yeah, we gotta start pushing.
I don't clamp on this.
Yep.
Yeah, you see the green.
I'm going banana. I'm going
Green
banana.
and training on me. Training on me.
Actually dead.
Training fell. Nice, two dead. Last guy's
Snipes
Jackson.
up. I'm on for the
He's
sniper.
first. I'm looking.
Just start up.
Still
Is
Molly.
he just challenging you?
Yeah, I got him. He's first.
Yeah, I'm on their turret with snipe.
I'm looking first.
You got eyes on you. You got eyes on you.
Yeah, this one, Aaron, this one. Aaron.
They're first.
I'll get one. There's a
Their
guy
needles.
back
Their
up
needles
on
have to back up.
Two down.
First right now. Yeah. Last guy flag.
you. Got one Mauler again. We can
Yeah. I'm nading Muller.
Same again. Nading Mauler.
Smoke over Aaron.
First. Dead. Yo, Mauler again. First on the one shot.
Are you first?
I'm running it.
Nice. Good shit.
I'll
watch over you.
No, I'm pulling him.
Aaron, I got shots.
Nah, I'm hard blocking Muller.
Both weapons are down their court. He's gonna get. The snipe's in the lift. They're lifting up now. Grabbing the snipe. You missed the snipe.
Hey, shoot out.
Hey, shit, dude. Snipe's not
Double kill.
Yeah, these needles.
They're first. Yeah.
It's in the lift, Jay.
Weak their first. To their needles. Owing right now. Long. So they're like needle bucks. Going green. They might get through. They might get through our green.
I'm not here, green. We're good.
You got
green.
full.
I know.
Green.
They go first.
Dude, the other tower killed me. Wow.
I'm keeping the pressure.
A little bit of a different tone from when we had that listening in game number 1, because this time it was Mantra not fighting from a position of strength, of advantage, of lead in the game, but this time fighting from a deficit. It was that incredible double sniper kill from Mortally that allowed Mantra to get their capture on the board. What did you hear from that, Comms, and what do you think is Mantra's next play?
Yeah, Mortally at one point was discussing maybe playing sword side, and then he just seemed to kind of give up on that as we see return to sender there for Yak. Huge play there, but what Mortally really stressed there in that listen in was pressure. Guys, we just need to get up on the other side. At that point, it's kind of, he's like throwing, like, guys, let's just throw strategy out the window. I don't care how we get across the 50-yard line. We just need to get across, and that was what we saw there from that Mantra roster. Led to a score, but they need one more. Down 2-1 with under 4 to go. Darkest Hour, got to give them some credit going into a game 3 where it looked like I said earlier, they might have 5 flags put up on them with the way Mantra was playing. Darkest Hour have an answer, but they go 4 down. Mantra with an answer of their own here. Counter cap potential, 2-2 tie.
Potential for the 2-2 tie. And it's Mortally in a very familiar spot. That cover fire, picking off kill after kill, providing the cover, providing the escort for Super CC, who's rotating the flag to get it past the halfway point. It's Grand Shicey in the pit, and Mortally is finding the kills as he rounds the corner. That flag was stopped just short, though. Mantra have not claimed the capture yet, and Jackson is in the base, giving shots out onto multiple targets. Now M305 is in the mix. We thought it was guaranteed for the trade, but they actually get the counter pull. They're stalling even further on this flag.
Yak did a great job there. Made sure he was pushing into the base, getting damage down, and still cycling into the flag of Mantra. Gets a pull out, then gets the return. Jackson popping off, and now he's running flag 2, but he needs help. Needs some support. Oh, Ace gets clean. 3 shots almost on Yak, but they still have to take him down. They do take him down. Darkest Hour with the flag score that would ultimately earn them the game here. Most likely up 2 with 2 to go, but this is going to be a difficult score. They're going to have some extra effort to put this one in.
And it's both snipers in the hands of Mantra as maybe their last hope, but Jackson takes down a double kill of his own. There comes Jackson getting slay after slay in this game. The capture comes through, the 3-1 lead for Darkest Hour with just over 2 minutes. The last round of rockets and overshield might be the last hope for Mantra.
Yeah, Yak is sitting at 16 and 15, so he's +1, right? You wouldn't think he's popping off, but his survivability, we saw earlier, the repulsor on the rocket, that would have taken him down, and ultimately, that's again, butterfly effect. It would be a 2-1 game still if Yak didn't stay alive with that repulsor rocket sequence, so he's even here on the kill-death ratio, but he's having a great game.
Impactful plays coming out from Jackson, and now it's Super CC with 1 rocket and 2 rounds of the sniper. All that's left to work with. Here comes the push from M305. Jackson right behind, but Super CC, he looks too early to that green wall and is taken down. It's Jackson with the last round of the snipe, and he puts it to work, no hesitation. 1:20 to go, and all momentum now for Darkest Hour. Their backs are against the wall. They're down 2-0 in the series, but they are looking ready to force a game 4.
Yeah, he looked like a little frustrated there, missing those final shots on Ace, but he has the teammate support in M305 to clean it up. Now a last-ditch effort here for this Mantra squad as the desperation is on. Darkest Hour sends it. M305 takes down his opponent. Tricky takes down Ace, and Yak offense, the best defense, continues to push in, pulls flag out despite being up 2 with under a minute to go. That's going to pull all of Mantra's attention back towards their side of the map and likely wrap this one up. 2-1. Looks like Darkest Hour coming back.
Darkest Hour playing Empyrean CTF in a textbook style. They got the early capture and they've held on to the lead ever since. We see many slays, maybe even outslaying on the side of Mantra. I can't do the math real quick, but we're seeing a good number of slays from Mantra not turning into captures time and time again. Mantra are in the back of Darkest Hour base. They're shut down even on those pushes. We see Mortally going for a last
they're
second
-1.
flagpole. He gets it.
They're -1. Darkest Hour has a negative kill death ratio as a team, and that's going to continue further down as Yak goes down, but so too do the chances for Mantra to win this game. So Darkest Hour does it on the back of objective efficiency, and again, clutch plays, right time, right place. We really teed it up with talking about Yak, how he's having a great game, but you look at his stats and you'd say, he's having an okay game, Mac. No. You had to have watched that game to know that he was really the performer of the game there for Darkest Hour, making clutch play after clutch play, stopping flags, getting clutch rocket takedowns. He returned flags, he pulled flags, he scored flags. Like, there was nothing Yak didn't do in that game 3, and that's exactly why Darkest Hour, they're not done just yet. They're now actually looking at a reverse sweep, and after a 3-1 like that, they seem up to it.
I like that you're saying Jackson is the MVP, and I think the play of the game was when the lead was 2-1 Darkest Hour, and it looked all but tied up, and all of a sudden Jackson stops the flag runner, stops the flag short, gets that counter pull you were referencing, and that just blew the game wide open. There were several moments, including Septify with the snipe looking very solid. I love that no scope, just swipe across for the headshot. And again, the pressure was often on Darkest Hour's base, and they were unrelenting as a wall of defense.
Look at all these highlights. I mean, it's a mini montage right now for the likes of Super CC, and every time we go back to a different player's POV, the score inches further and further up for Darkest Hour. Here they are, 3 down again, but there it is. Tricky, I assume he got that kill there. Every time Darkest Hour needed to play from their last player alive, they got it. More often than not, they got it from Yak. And now are primed for reverse sweep. Not sure what the series layout has us in game 4, but I like Darkest Hour's chances here, especially against a team of complete studs here in Mantra. I almost hope they play a little loose here, play like they have nothing to lose. They're in the winner's bracket side, right? So they can lose here and still qualify for pool play next weekend. And I think against a roster again, you got Septify, CC, you got Ace, the world champion, right? You just don't have that on the Darkest Hour roster. So when you look at the power rankings of these individual players, Mantra is a heavy favorite. It's the reason why they're the #1 seed, but individual plays don't win matches. Individuals don't win tournaments. It comes down to the team. It comes down to the team shot. And right there, we saw better team performance from Darkest Hour. Let's see if they can continue that throughout the series.
It is going to come down to that team performance. Hopefully, Darkest Hour forcing the game 5 that you were calling for earlier when we were loading into the matchup. It's going to be Audible Live Fire as that game number 4 with Street Slayer back to the streets potentially if we make it all the way to the game 5. What a way to run this semis with bookends of streets. We started off with the King of the Hill streak, potential to go back. If this game goes to Darkest Hour, it's going to be oddball. They're going to need more of those team plays. They're going to need more of that strong defense. And again, a game mode where playing the objective isn't solely reliant on the slay.
Yeah, and this is an opportunity now on Live Fire Oddball for Darkest Hour to keep the momentum going. If you win this Oddball match, we're looking at least 10 to 15 minutes of energy exertion. And if you're the likes of Mantra looking at a reverse sweep, that could be really humbling and at a moment in time where you got to stay locked in. Game 4 on our screen, and Shiesty in our POV.
And I do want to say, when we had that listening earlier with Mantra, even when they were losing, they still had the same kind of calmness in their comms, maybe a little bit more of a sense of urgency, but I didn't hear any like name calling, blaming. They still were ready to get back their focus and get back into that game. We'll see if they were able to reset in between games, but Ace is going to have to reset on the respawn screen as Tricky finds his head with a sniper.
Ace thought he was getting the overshield for free. Instead, he took a 50 cal to the back of the head for free from Tricky. Love this. Has the power weapon in his hand, but that doesn't mean he can't rotate and play smartly with that oddball, then baits the opponent in through that dummy door, looking like a dummy almost if he secured the headshot no scope, but goes down nonetheless. M305 with that overshield has the extra damage dealt to take down Mortally. And now, numbers advantage for Darkest Hour. If they can just get this oddball almost out of a play ball reset area, they can really score some time here. Huge 2-3 now go down again. Oh, Darkest Hour got to get this oddball to the C tower and start milking right now.
They're gonna do it. They're gonna get the rotation, but look at Tricky with the oddball. He's not rotating directly to the tower. He's kind of caught in no man's land out there at Turbine, and that might cost them as he's taken down. Ace with a double kill, uses that snipe. He is sent off the map, but not the kind of milking of the objective that you wanted to see from Darkest Hour, as they kind of got caught out a little bit indecisive on where to rotate.
Yeah, Darkest Hour with 15 seconds of time when they should have achieved 30. Let's see if that comes back to bite him here. And I imagine it could very well, especially, again, going up against the #1 seeded Mantra, where all of these pros have so much incredible experience to their name. We're starting to see a little bit of that on display here as Super CC earns himself the triple kill, earns himself the overshield. And despite the hot start for Darkest Hour, Mantra are starting to find their form.
We've seen so many triple kills, but I know 90's still waiting for the overkill. Is it gonna happen? Super CC is in a fight against two. He adjusts, quickly avoids that Achilles spine back smack in order to take down the trade on the kill. Mantra rotated the ball all the way over to the house, to the A-side window. It's mortally on the objective. Tricky trying to rotate at the top mid with that takedown, and Yaxon is pushing the issue, but Mortally adjusts as that push comes through. Mortally drops the oddball, wins the kill, and then plays the ball out into the field.
And another tough situation for Darkest Hour, where they have numbers, but that oddball precariously out in the middle of the field. But here in this sequence, Magic, notice how they're much quicker to grab that oddball. Because of it, they're going to gain the lead here. So it looked like for a little while Mantra was going to have 30 plus, but now it's looking like Darkest Hour instead. So to falter like that and then to find their form again is really impressive from the likes of Darkest Hour, as they seem to sort of be putting it together on the fly a little bit, right? But that's common for teams that are playing in their first 4K together, right? I believe that this roster did have a team change in between last week's tournament, so not surprised to see some of those kinks getting worked out here right before us.
And sometimes that's what you need, the mid-game, the mid-series, the mid-tournament adjustments, and which team is going to be able to make those fine-tuning tweaks in order to get the victory. Right now, it's still Darkest Hour, a little bit of their backs against the wall, as M305 literally has his back against the wall. Playing this window side, he is taken down. The advantage he kills is in the favor of Mantra, as Super CC picks up the triple kill and wins over that objective.
Bundles and bundles of triple kills on stream today. Unbelievable performance from all of these players, and unbelievable support in the chat. We're not able to thank everyone for those prime subs, gifted subs, etc., but we do see it. We feel the hype, and thank you guys for the support. As Super CC thanks his teammates for playing so well in front of him. 3 going down for Darkest Hour, and because he has snipe, he's going to hand off that oddball. 4 going down for Darkest Hour. Starting to see a little bit of a snowball form here for Mantra.
And he held on to both for a long time, both sniper and oddball, but it was fine. All the time, he's been waiting for this moment, just warming up that sniper rifle to put it to work for some nice kills. 3 go down for Darkest Hour, as Mantra are just 35 seconds away from the round 1 win and climbing. Super CC is not stopping. He's not rotating exactly to the oddball, and finally he forces Darkest Hours to worry about him instead of getting that tunnel vision toward the objective.
And you can sense the hesitation to push because Super CC's got a scope down your sight, but he eventually goes down. But again, it just goes to show the respect that this Darkest Hour roster had for Super CC there. Sort of looked a little like, do we want to push garage door? Do we want to push nest side, where we're probably about to get blamed in the face? So some of that hesitation is just equally as valuable as getting a kill if you're Super CC. So a great job there by him.
Tricky rotates to the top of the tower, cleans up the rest of that kill onto Ace. Now Tricky rotating to the oddball, but there's two players here at B pillar. That grenade is sent right back with the use of the repulsor. A trade of kills going down, 2 for each side. Instead, it's Mantra, all 4 down. Darkest Hour, they get the objective, and they rotate quickly to the back of the B. They need that play ball, and they need to play some perfect Halo if they're gonna steal this round.
Oh, and I thought bad things for Tricky and Darkest Hour when he went down, but just like we saw Yak with the well-timed kills in that previous game, it's Grand Shiesty now getting on the board with that double kill, saving the round for his team. Now looking to save his own life. 1 HP in a dream. He eventually goes down, but not before trading out, and the oddball will get played as well, but not before Darkest Hour put together a little bit of milk and now are within striking distance, but they got to reset. They got to play strong off the reset. You cannot let Mantra run away with it because they'll run away with the round.
Oh, Ace gets that critical takedown, and that might just spell disaster in the round. Grand Shiesty is playing for the fumble, but is dropped. And now the last second fumble, it does come through, but there's someone there to pick up where it was left off. And in the end, it was too much time being won over. Darkest Hour, they're at the match point, round point. They need to find an answer, and they need to find it quick.
Mantra smelling blood in the water. Does Darkest Hour have an answer and a comeback in him? A reverse sweep needed. Has 1 out of 3, but now needs to really find the answer here in oddball, where Mantra seemed to have full control. And we looked back to that opening sequence, remember in round 1 Magic, where Darkest Hour had the team wipe, but took him 15-20 seconds almost to grab the oddball after that.
Yeah.
And it's that objective deficiency, is that a word? That has been the difference. Deficiency, there you go. It's the objective deficiency there that's been the difference for these two teams. As looking at the kill feed, Magic, look at that. It's real quick math. It's just about dead even.
Some nice slays there for Darkest Hour. So even if it is pretty much dead even from side to side, at least in the opening break from this round 2, we see that Darkest Hour capitalize. It's M305 with that overshield. Still plenty of time and not looking anxious, not looking over aggressive. But Grand Shiesty was the player with the objective taken down. Now M305, even with the overshield, has to double back. Spends the rest of that overshield just to get to the oddball in order to play it. Only 11 seconds won. Mantra quick to break that hold.
Yeah, and that's a really tough sight for Darkest Hour because it's deja vu. It's showing that that was not a fluke in that opening round where Mantra were still able to score time despite the slay disparity for Darkest Hour at the time. And now we're seeing more of the same. However, Darkest Hour off this reset. Can this be the answer they need? And there's no pressure coming down that overshield side. Looks like nobody's even close. So this should be Darkest Hour's first chance to get up into that snipe tower, get a little comfortable, you know, kick your feet up a little bit. But just like that, Mantra breaks through and you have Super CC running away with it. What happened?
A complete meltdown, a complete breakthrough as Mantra rotates to the back of C. Super CC grabs the oddball, passes it off to a teammate, goes off on a solo mission to find some slays, and he does find the back of Yaxin. Ends up as a trade. The plasma grenade and the plasma pistol both working for a trade of kills. Grand Shiesty now with that overshield in the side of Darkest Hour. But does this oddball escape away? It was the relay from Mantra, another play that doesn't show up in the stats, giving up your life in order to rotate the ball away from the overshield.
Another earned reset for Darkest Hour. Do they have the positioning to turn it into ball time? Yak tries to sneak away with some of that, but goes down. Great play there by Shiesty, taking advantage of every utility and resource he has. His team's going to need every bit of it. A very mixy back and forth round 2 here. 21-20. Just about deadlock tied between these two teams, but 3 go down for Darkest Hour. That's going to tilt the favor back towards Mantra.
Oh, now it's Mantra tilting the favor back and tilting the lead back to them. 26, a 5-point lead and climbing as they rotate the ball to the back of B. Mortally is playing the defense. Mortally has been that primary objective player, but now he's in the role of Slayer. He has damage onto multiple targets. Is there anyone there to clean up the rest of those kills? Doesn't look like it. Looks like Ace is going to opt to play for that sniper, that power weapon instead. Nearly catches the back of Yaxin. Finally gets the takedown on the 3rd round of that sniper, and then finding the double kill onto M305. The shroud screen to allow teammate to pick up the oddball.
Ace turning back the clock and sending Darkest Hour back to the respawn screen. Seen some incredible performances today from Ace. Right now sitting at 23 and 18. Playing really well, and you know what? He's had some flashy plays with the snipe. That's not something we've come to expect or see from Ace this year, but we're starting to see it now on screen, almost landing that double no-scope on M305, but a huge double kill here for Tricky. So despite the performance recent as of late from Ace, it looks like Darkest Hour has an answer and potentially some more oddball time. But again, they have to play off this reset and hold the fort.
Plays and counter plays. This game is looking more and more like chess. That overshield is going to turn one of these pawns into maybe the queen. I don't think they get that. Maybe a knight. Yeah, sounds better. And 305 is going into the fight, but 2 go down on both sides. I have to think that the overshield is burned or melted by the team fire. So many grenades, so much gunfire being dealt over at the turbine side. But here comes Mantra. They have the numbers. It's a 3v2, and Tricky is weak. Tricky is taken down. Mantra, they passed that 50-point mark, and they only need 45 more seconds to take this series and to qualify into next weekend.
Another reset going into the hands of Mantra. Ace, recognizing the push down the garage door, already starts the rotation. So all this action, all this energy, all this attention going to A, but it's Ace rotating away with it. But great job by Darkest Hour. They seemingly recognize it, now have the oddball instead. And don't look now, Darkest Hour with a few clutch plays could find themselves back in it. That was really tough there because you would have had 2 down for Mantra, 4 up for Darkest Hour. Instead, it's a numbers advantage for Mantra, and the push is on.
Few seconds milked by Darkest Hour on that break, but Mantra, quick retribution on the slays, and Super CC picks up a couple of extra frags, tosses them out. It's the stall factor back in play. Now Septify, the player with the objective time on the side of Mantra.
Oh
Super CC has been left to slay. Super CC is usually the oddball holder with 60 ball seconds per game. But now, when he's slain, let him off his, please, let Super CC continue to stack up the kill count.
Let Super CC cook, sitting at a 1.14 KD for this tournament. It's highest on the team as he's looking to lead his team to another qualification pool play next Saturday, Sunday. And oh my God, Magic, if we have if it's anything like last weekend, we are in store for what I guess if last weekend was the best online tournament ever, hopefully we get the second best or maybe the best this weekend as the Halo action continues to heat up. And a big reason why are because of these teams that we're seeing here today in the qualifiers that are really starting to push those teams in the top 6, 7, 8 through 12 or so to be better and perform better. Because if not, these are the teams that are coming for your spot.
And Mantra is coming for the spot of those top 12 teams, assuming they can clutch up the final 10 seconds. Looks like all but guaranteed for them. Watch out, pool play, because Mantra is on the rise. Ace fitting into this roster so well. They're looking deadly as they secure the final seconds. They secure that pool play spot. There's something about this 4K that gives us the feel of being on land and watching these passion pit matches. It has to get you fired up about this game.
Yeah, and if you're Darkest Hour, you got to be fired up about this team. I know they go down 3-1 here in the series, but they faced easily far and above the #1 team in this tournament. And I look back at this game 4, Magic, it was the play ball resets. That was the difference. Mantra had enough slays. I believe at the end of it, only a 1 to 2 team wipe top disparity for Mantra, as it seemed like every single time, whether it was the oddball reset by Darkest Hour or by Mantra was always there at the pad, at the ready to take back control of that oddball. I think in 5 out of the 5 sequences where that occurred, Mantra had every single one. It's a big reason why they were able to take down Darkest Hour in game 4 and the series 3-1.